This is over my house right now. What is that?
It's the million-dollar question baffling New Jersey residents looking skyward.
They're just pacing back and forth, going very slow.
Since last month, dozens of drones mysteriously hovering in the skies at night. Near Morris County, the FAA has now ordered 2 temporary flight restrictions prohibiting drones over this military base and Trump National Golf Club after receiving reports of unexplained activity. Today, Homeland Security and state police met with some New Jersey officials, including Mayor Jim Maley.
I truly don't believe they have any idea where the drones are coming from.
Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment.
Drone fleets buzzing top secret bases. An orb captured on a UK runway, posted by a pilot and then deleted. Presidents asked on camera, what's going on in our skies? Today, we're diving into the mysteries over military and nuclear sites, the rise of modern drone incursions since 2019, and the ever-changing narrative explanation surrounding these drones. In previous videos, I've covered UFO connections with presidents, stretching back from Harry Truman all the way up to Obama. Now, with modern presidents Joe Biden and Donald Trump, this video is going to be a little bit different. The presidencies overlap with this interesting event. Joe Biden, of course, on the way out of his presidency in late 2024, and then President-elect Trump coming into office, both would be asked about untraceable, untrackable mystery, quote, drones flying over sensitive airspace.
I'm going to give you a report on drones about 1 day into the administration, because I think it's ridiculous that they're not telling you about what's going on with the drones.
Was there a cover-up involved? Let's dig all we can and get all the information possible. Most people are familiar with the, quote, drones that were flying over New Jersey in late 2024. But this story actually started much earlier. Quote, drone and mystery object incursions aren't brand new. Long before New Jersey, the skies over some sensitive sites have been filled with objects for some reason unimpeded. While I won't be doing a deep dive on these right now, a couple of the main cases include Malmstrom Air Force Base in 1967, where according to nuclear missile operator Robert Salas, a UFO actually disabled a flight of our nukes. Obviously this occurred long before drones, and this UFO was spotted by multiple highly credible witnesses and caused many nukes to shut down without frying equipment. Another example would be the Rendlesham Forest incident in 1980.
Getting an indication of a heat source coming out of that center spot, which will show up on heat or some form of energy. It's hardly heat at this stage of the game. Looking directly overhead, one can see an opening in the trees plus some freshly broken pine branches on the ground underneath. Looks like some of them came off about 15 to 20 feet up. Some small branches about an inch or less in diameter. 0148, we're hearing very strange sounds out of the farmer's barnyard animals. They're just very, very active, making an awful lot of noise. Yes, and a pigmentation. You just saw a light where? Wait, slow down. Where? Right in this position here, straight ahead, in between the tree. There it is again. Watch, straight ahead off my flashlight there, sir. There it is. Hey, I see it too. What is it? We don't know, sir. So can I get some? Yeah, it's a strange, small red light. Looks to be out maybe a quarter to half mile, maybe further out. I'm gonna switch off it. The light is gone now. It was approximately 120 degrees from the site. Is it back again? Yes, sir. Oh, that's the flashlight set. Let's move out to the edge of the clearing so we can get a better look at it. See if you can get the star scope on it. The light's still there, and all the barnyard animals have gotten quiet now.
In my opinion, maybe the most credible UFO event ever. A UFO actually flew and potentially landed in the forest right next to 2 US and UK joint military bases. This event occurred over multiple evenings, and the US was actually forced to pay for the disability of one soldier involved, John Burroughs, based on injuries he sustained because of a UFO. There are literally countless others. Researcher Robert Hastings has interviewed over 150 veterans who are tasked with guarding the US's most sensitive airspace, installations, and weapons. All of them discuss cases where a UFO was either hovering over the base or even interacting or interfering with live weapons. This has been going on upwards of 60 years. I highly recommend you check out Robert Hastings' book, UFOs and Nukes, to read about the full connection.
On a rural farm in Colorado, bizarre lights in the night sky. This one blinking here, one of more than a dozen unidentified drones flying in formation for miles. And on the ground, even local law enforcement calling them in.
I had what I believed to be a drone pass over me, and it was headed towards Yuma.
Since a week before Christmas, the drones have been appearing around 7 at night and flying for hours. When Wyatt Harmon saw them above his land, he and his girlfriend tried to chase him down.
That one's back.
The mothership thing?
Yeah.
Now to this story, the FBI, FAA, and U.S. Air Force are investigating a mystery in the skies over Colorado and Nebraska, where swarms of drones have been spotted, sometimes in formation. But who's flying them?
Sheriff's departments across the border area of 3 states have been flooded with similar reports since mid-December.
During Trump's first term, ironic because of some of his statements, late in 2019, swarms of, quote, mystery drones started appearing in the middle of the United States, including Colorado, Nebraska, and Wyoming. These were occurring over sensitive sites in airspace. People reported seeing potentially grid-like patterns of lights. Officials investigated, coordinated with the FAA, FBI, and even the DoD, but many questions remained unanswered. According to CBS News, in 2019, we also have reports of dozens of, quote, drones shadowing our warships for weeks while training off the California coast. Another event in late 2019, the Palo Verde nuclear plant in Arizona, which is the largest power plant in the country, was also buzzed by drones. The country that spends nearly $1 trillion per year in defense budget is letting this happen, and the only messaging is, they aren't enemies or mean no harm? We don't have an answer for these incidents from Trump during this time period. Given the chaos that the year 2020 would bring in early 2020, this story kind of faded from the news at this time.
The Pentagon confirms that unidentified drones did fly over Langley Air Force Base in Hampton.
Yeah, the Defense Department spokeswoman said today the drones didn't appear to have hostile intent.
The number of those UAS incursions did fluctuate on any given day, but they didn't appear to exhibit any hostile intent.
There was a Wall Street Journal report that says that ARROW, which is the division within the Pentagon that investigates UAPs or UFOs or anomalous phenomena, things that we can't really explain. ARROW was involved directly in this investigation right alongside the FBI to try to figure out what these things were, which means that the Pentagon at least had some consideration that this might be something we couldn't explain with the knowledge that we have.
Late into 2023 and actually going into 2024, we saw something different. Prolonged sequences of nightly incursions over different bases. Langley Air Force Base, a very important base strategically in the United States, was buzzed for 17 nights in a row in December 2023. I want to emphasize 17 nights where sensitive skies were breached. No solution came from that we know of, or that was reported anyways. You're telling me an unknown actor was operating objects over our military base that long and we didn't do anything, or we don't have any information about who they are or where they come from? One thing's for sure, this wasn't balloons. According to retired General Mark Kelly, who was there, he described these objects as wide-ranging in size, varying from a small quadcopter-sized object to the size of a small boat or car. This also includes reports of, quote, mothership drones that launched or operated smaller drones in the area. Biden officially said that these were likely the work of hobbyists, some pretty organized and bold hobbyists. If you bought a drone from a local Walmart and flew it over Langley Air Force Base, you would have the military kicking down your door before you even parked your drone. Officials said that this Langley situation was serious enough to move our most advanced jets to the base, and Washington, D.C. listened. After a full 17 nights of this occurring at Langley Air Force Base, these, quote, drones would simply stop.
The distance over the top of the base, and we've got look like shooting stars are going across the top of us as well. Really strange, like keeps disappearing, coming back. A lot of activity down at Lakenheath tonight. Look at the patterns coming out of that. Look. And then disappeared again.
Now we move up to November 2024. Across the Atlantic, RAF Lakenheath, a US military base that has hosted American fighters and stored nuclear weapons, was put on alert after unexplained drone activity buzzed the base repeatedly. This event would last about a week, from November 20th through the 27th. According to an anonymous official that spoke to Reuters, they did not think that this was the work of hobbyists, despite the official story being just that. About 60 British troops were actually drafted to assist the US in an attempt to find the group responsible for these incursions over bases. Of course, we were never told anything despite the importance of this base. After a week or so, they faded away, again untouched. In the midst of all this chatter about drones in the UK, if only we could get a picture, a clear picture. Well, Manchester Airport. During the drone craze, this image was posted on X and Reddit. It was said to have actually been taken in June of that year. Soon, this was followed by the video. Supposedly after it had zoomed up into the air. The original poster, Captain Bigelow, had his accounts nuked on both Reddit and X in about a day. The pilot can be seen here talking briefly before the account went dark. This object, as we can see here, is very strange looking. People have confirmed that these photos and video were taken at Manchester Airport. And this video does appear like it was taken from inside of a cockpit. This is just another fascinating lead that was buried under the other drone talk, with the account creator of course going MIA.
This morning, growing concern over hundreds of these mysterious drone sightings in the Northeast.
That is not an airplane.
Videos on social media showing drones described as much larger and faster than those typically used by hobbyists, hovering over parts of New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania in recent days. Some spotted over a U.S. military facility, over reservoirs, and over President-elect Trump's golf club and summer home. The FBI is investigating, but so far, no answer.
Yeah, this is incredible. I mean, so a United States Coast Guard boat testified to you that 12 drones were following it in the water in the Atlantic Ocean. Did they tell you anything about the size, what they look like? Were they able to get images? How close were they?
You know, we know we have the capability within DOD to ascertain where it's coming from, even bring it down. And they have it, but they don't have the, quote, authority to do it.
What, from who? See, this is the question, Congressman.
You're telling me we don't know what the hell these drones are in New Jersey are? Is that correct?
That's right.
It's crazy.
Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones. It's off the east coast of the United States of America.
We have no evidence at this time that the reported drone sightings pose a national security or a public safety threat, or have a foreign nexus.
In late 2024 and early 2025, the US East Coast was besieged by the granddaddy of them all, the New Jersey drone. Numerous eyewitnesses saw something in the sky. And while many of these objects can certainly be written off as misidentifying airliners or planets or even balloons, that does not seem to be the case for everything that was discovered in the sky over New Jersey. These objects were seen flying over critical infrastructure sites, including water reservoirs, electronic transmission lines, rail stations, police departments, and military installations. This includes a major military base in that area, Picatinny Arsenal, the Jersey Police and Coast Guard, local and federal level politicians, the FAA, the FBI, the White House, President Biden, and President-elect Trump were just some of the voices that tried to speak to the growing fears coming from the public.
All those drones over New Jersey, what's behind all of that?
Nothing nefarious, apparently, but they're checking it all out. I think it's just one. There's a lot of drones authorized up there. I think one started and they all got it. Everybody wanted to get in the deal, but we're following it closely. So far, no sense of a danger.
New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew made a surprising statement on December 11th about where these drones were potentially coming from.
Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones. It's off the east coast of the United States of America.
He claimed an Iranian mothership was currently sitting off the eastern coast of the US and launching the reported drones. This caused a response from Deputy Pentagon Press Secretary Sabrina Singh.
These are not drones or activities coming from a foreign entity or adversary.
Representative Jeff Van Drew, who is a Republican from New Jersey, was just on the air saying that Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones, and that mothership is off the coast of the east coast of the United States. Is there any truth to that?
There is not any truth to that. There is no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States, and there's no so-called mothership launching drones towards the United States.
White House National Security Communications Advisor John Kirby was besieged daily for trying to hand-wave this event away. He would say that many of the reported sightings of drones are actually manned aircraft that are being operated lawfully. Apparently, military bases were being put on alert along with FAA restrictions for no reason. The New Jersey Coast Guard reported that over a dozen drones were tailing their boat. Law enforcement also stated that they tracked another 50 drones coming onto land from the ocean at Island Beach State Park. According to Representative Chris Smith, Assistant FBI Director Robert Wheeler admitted that the organization didn't know who was behind the unidentified drones that were flying over New Jersey. As I said before, President Biden and President-elect Trump would be forced to comment as the press would be asking them numerous questions about this incident. While Biden would make a statement that seemed to try to calm everything down, Trump would of course make numerous statements about this incident. While I'm not sure we can take everything he's stating seriously, I do believe him when he says that the government knows what's going on with these drones, or at least somewhat knows.
I'm going to give you a report on drones about one day into the administration, because I think it's ridiculous that they're not telling you about what's going on with the drones. That could be us sending drones. I hope that's the case, us doing it and doing research, and maybe they don't want to talk about it from that standpoint. I hope it's not an enemy, but we're going to find out on the 21st, the day after. You have to give me a little time for the inauguration, but shortly thereafter, we'll give you a report on it. We'll tell you exactly what it is. They know, and it's very strange that they aren't talking about it.
I want to focus on that phrase of if they came from a garage. We talked about the Coast Guard seeing potential drones coming in from the ocean following their boat. A fleet of potentially 50 coming in from the ocean onto the shore. The congressman who spoke about an Iranian mothership potentially releasing drones in the water. I'm not sure if Iran would have the technology for untraceable, untrackable drones to fly unimpeded around our military bases for weeks. I do want to give another shout out to the infamous 4chan whistleblower and their reported underwater UFO factory. Again, a topic for a future video, but in basic summary, he stated that there was an underwater base in the Atlantic that would release mostly unmanned drones that are built to spec. Just all things to keep in mind here, and I'm also really excited to do a deep dive on this leak. I'm saving it as I'm gathering my sources. Back to the presidential connection. This was a time of transition, with Biden scheduled to step down and Trump scheduled to take over. Trump would promise a report on the drones on day one. Also remember his comments that the government knew what was going on, and he had declined to comment on if he had received a briefing or not. He would later say he knew what was happening. He would also have his staff announce that they were FAA approved.
President Trump directly an update on the New Jersey drones. After research and study, the drones that were flying over New Jersey in large numbers were authorized to be flown by the FAA for research and various other reasons. Many of these drones were also hobbyists, recreational, and private individuals that enjoy flying drones. In time, it got worse due to curiosity. This was not the enemy.
Does the FAA agree with that statement? I don't believe it does. One thing's for sure, we were promised disclosure on this event from Trump, and he specifically stated day one. He talked about releasing the broader UFO files as well. And of course, we've gotten neither. Not anything close, actually. In October 2025, we have an article in the New York Post, which someone takes the blame for this drone incident. According to an unnamed source at a closed-off event, an unnamed contractor took credit for the entire New Jersey drone flap. So are they flying them over America earlier, like Colorado and Wyoming and the like? What about Lakenheath? Jersey as well, I guess. How about reports of mystery drones currently flying over Europe, such as Germany and Denmark? With the news being as crazy as it's been lately, have people even picked up on the fact that there are mystery drones shutting down airports all over Europe? I'm talking currently, right now. Here's footage of shut down airspace in Belgium. This video was filmed from the tower at the airport by employees. You would think they would know what is just a standard airplane or a quote hobbyist. All this begs the ultimate question. What are they and where are they coming from? I'm open to these being some kind of advanced technology that we may possess, but why are these occurring worldwide? The story seems to align with the classic tale of these are not a threat that we've heard in all UFO counters going back to 1947. And I also believe, just like with all presidents and UFOs going back to 1947, that both Biden and Trump know more than they're letting on. Next time, I'm going to cover another exciting event, that being the 3 unidentified object shootdowns over American airspace in 2023. Please like, subscribe, comment, and let me know what you're thinking about this whole instance, and I will catch you next time.